Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I stand here as the proposition in the favor of the motion. This House believes that social media makes a person behave antisocial. In nowadays, we can deny that almost all of us are using social media as long as there is a device and the internet or even a server. Even our environment like supporting us to use social media or even force us to use social media. Basically start from a simple thing like knowing how's the prediction of today's weather and knowing a breaking news. Even in some countries already implement a warning about a hurricane and any important thing through everything in social media. So if someone said that social media is not an important thing, we can live without it, it's totally wrong. Social media is one of the most important thing or even a crucial thing to support a human being to be alive in this era, the digital era. But if we analyze it closely, there is so many perspectives about the impact of social media itself, either a positive impact or a negative impact. Someone might be says that the impact of social media is really relying with how the user use it. But in reality, there is so many impact of the social media, especially the negative one, that is exists unrecognizably, including it will make a person behave antisocial, which is the one that I propose today. But before we jump into a deeper level about the argument that will prove social media is actually makes a person behave antisocial, let me tell you first about the definition and the key terms so the misconception and the misunderstanding will never happen between us. First, social media is an online platform. In other words, we need to use the internet to use it and to open it for people updating about their life and mutual with other people, either a real friends or just a random people that they meet on social media. For example, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. 2. Behave is about how someone act in their life and reacting about something that is happening around them or the one that they just heard or see. In this context, is about how someone act with the real people around them. 3. Antisocial is a person behavior that is more preferred to avoiding other people as simple as they didn't want to socialize because of a specific reason. 3. Antisocial is a person behavior that is more preferred to avoiding other people as simple as they didn't want to social because of a specific reason. So the limitation about this debate will be about how actually social media change a person of people mindset unrecognizably and creating an antisocial behavior. The status quo right now is now social media is the one that will around us as always, no matter what happens, as long as we still live in the digital era like right now. We cannot avoiding a social media even though we choose to not to be a part of the user. But some days there will be a condition that will force us to use social media, either because of the job or people around us, for example, a digital self-branding. So because the use of social media is the one that is impossible to not get rid of, and because the social media itself causing a negative impact like makes a person behave antisocial, that's why today's topic is important for all of us to be aware of. Because of the awareness of how dangerous social media causing an antisocial behavior is important, here's a few considerations that will crystallize this section of debate as the proposition. First, social media encourages people to stay inside house. If we look to the amount of the user of the social media and how long they've been using it, this means that social media gives a comforting to the user, especially to just open the page in the long time in a day. And this is very dangerous, ladies and gentlemen, because no matter what happened, humans should be acting like a human being, which is socialized to the other, socialized to the peers, for example, in real life. Not just chatting and keep silent, but socialize and talk with the peers, for example. And if the social media give us comforting that much, it will make us happy to stay inside the house, especially average of us already have a Wi-Fi or the internet in the house, and it will make us doesn't want to socialize anymore. And if these habits always happen constantly with everyone, that will no one will that socialize anymore, and will creating an antisocial behavior in all of the citizens. 2. Social media makes people feel like they're already socialized, but in the reality they don't. Just like I said before in the definition, in the social media we can usual with a lot of people in online, and the interaction actually basically just chatting and FaceTime through the phone. And of course, that kind of interaction will take a lot of energy too. And it will make people feel like, okay, that's enough talk and interaction today. Even though in the reality they just stay inside the house without really meeting people in online. But in fact, talking through the phone and talking in reality with real people is totally a different kind of interaction and a different kind of socialization too. People that usually just talk and people in online will have a different energy to talk to the people in offline. And it is even dangerous that is the previously, because it will creating an antisocial behavior unrecognizedly by each individual impacted by social media that makes people feel like they're already socialized, but in reality they don't. 3. Social media causing an addiction. While social media causing an addiction, it can see from how long the average people have been used the social media. On average, it's more than 5 years. It's a long time without feeling any bored. Even in between their hectic time, people still gonna spend their time to open social media even though it's less than a minute, the time that they have. As simple as just seeing what the new notification that they get. So if the social media itself causing an antisocial behavior from the people that use it and also causing an addiction at the same time, we can take a conclusion that social media makes us behave antisocial constantly and in the infinity time as long as we still use it, right? 4. Social media give a suggestion that so many danger things out there through the hopes. We all know that in social media, there are so many hoax and different information, and it usually makes us to feel scared and distressed to other people and the world. Even in reality, the fact is totally different. So the social media itself already avoiding an antisocial behavior and causing the antisocial behavior too, and social media encourages us to more antisocial too. 5. Social media can change people behavior. Based on what I said before, the social media causing an antisocial behavior and also causing an addiction at the same time. In other words, we can say that it's so enough to prove that social media can change people's behavior other way around from their real behavior. So in conclusion, based on the 5 points of consideration that I said before, first, social media encourages people to stay inside the house. Social media makes people like they're gonna socialize, but in the reality they don't. 3. Social media causing an addiction. And 4. Social media give us suggestion that so many dangerous things out there through the hoax, and social media can change people behavior. And based on the status quo right now, that is everyone using social media, I strongly believe that social media makes a person behave antisocial. Thank you. Proud to be purpose.